I saw something on Instagram this week that stopped me in my scroll. And it was something like midlife isn't a crisis. It's a chance to let go of everything that you were never meant to carry. And that has been so true for me because I think that a lot of us have been told that there's something wrong with us for wanting more, that we're tired because we're not doing enough. Uh, we're restless because we just need a new goal, something new to strive towards. We're lost because we haven't found the right plan. But what if none of that is actually true? What if this season, this aching, beautiful, and confusing chapter that you're in is actually an invitation? Take that in for a second. That's what I want to talk about today. So pour your tea, take a breath, and come sit with me for a bit. Hello, friend, and welcome back to the podcast. I am your host, Rachel, and I've got another solo episode for you here. So, if you're new here, I teach women how to come home to themselves through yoga, mindfulness, and a whole lot of meeting ourselves right where we are. Today's episode is one of those topics that's been sitting on my heart for a while, and I have a feeling that it's going to land for you too. We're going to be talking about why so many women find yoga in this specific season of life. Not about the kind of yoga that is about getting flexible or fitting in a class between meetings or on your lunch break, but the deeper practice, the one that asks you to slow down enough to hear your inner voice, the practice that invites you to put some things down. And I just want to say this up front because nothing I share is about fixing anything about yourself because I don't think you need fixing. What I think is that you've probably been carrying things that either were never yours to carry in the first place or things that you've outgrown, but you're still used to carrying. And your body, your mind, your spirit are asking you to set some of that down. Ready? Here we go. Here's what I see over and over again in the women who find their way to me. She's the one who everyone calls when things fall apart. She holds it all together at work, at home, in her friendships, and her family. From the outside, her life looks really good, maybe even enviable. But she's tired in a way that sleep just doesn't fix. Not body tired, soul tired. Tired of always being the strong one. Tired of that quiet hum of something's missing that she can't quite name and she can't seem to outrun. And she's tried a lot of the things, so many things. She's read the books and downloaded the apps. She put meditation on her to-do list and then felt guilty when it didn't happen. She started a few programs, maybe more than a few. She didn't finish them, and then she held that against herself. And underneath all of that, there's this question that keeps coming up. A lot of times late at night, maybe in the car, maybe on a random Wednesday morning when she's brushing her teeth, and the house is quiet for a minute or two. What about me? What about me? And then almost immediately, who am I to even ask that? I have so much to be grateful for. And if you've ever heard that question float through your mind, even just for a second, I want you to know that I see you. I've been her. I am her some days still. And so I invite you to hear this. There's nothing wrong with you for asking that question. What about me? You're not behind. You're not failing. You're waking up. So take a breath with me right here and let that be true. You're waking up. Go ahead and inhale and let it go. That tiredness that you feel, it's not weakness, it's wisdom. Your body, your spirit, they're telling you that the way that you've been living, the way that you were taught to live, the way that asks you to keep doing more and being more and giving more, it's simply not sustainable. And some deeper part of you is starting to push up through the soil and ask for something different. That, my friend, is not a crisis. That is a homecoming. Now, you might be wondering why I'm talking about yoga in an episode about midlife and tiredness and unbecoming. And it's because yoga, the deeper practice, not just the poses, is one of the most ancient pathways we have for this exact work, the unbecoming. One of my favorite quotes about it goes like this: yoga is the journey of the self through the self, to the self. And that has been my experience of the practice for over 25 years now. And it's what I get to witness in the women that I teach. Yoga is really not about touching your toes. It's not about trying to look a certain way on the mat or get a pose just right. It's not even about trying to be calm all the time because let's be real, it's just not possible. None of us is calm all the time. Yoga offers us a practice to come home towards ourselves, to come home to ourselves. It teaches us to slow down enough to actually pay attention, not just to our body, but to who we actually are underneath all of that noise that surrounds us every single day. And the noise is loud, right? The expectations, the roles that you play or have played, the shoulds, the voices that taught you that good women give and good women keep it together and good women don't ask for more than they're handed. Well, here's the part that I think gets missed in mainstream wellness conversations. One of the deepest threads of this practice is the work of unbecoming. It's the slow, gentle, and let's be real, sometimes uncomfortable work of putting down the version of yourself that either you have outgrown or perhaps you feel like was never your role to begin with. Maybe you feel like it wasn't the path that you would have chosen. It was a path somebody else chose for you. Maybe you've been the overgiver, the prover, the one who's always earning her right to take up space. And so the practice is letting go of who you thought you had to be so you can finally reconnect with who you actually are. And that woman, she's been there the whole time. Underneath the doing and the proving and the tiredness, she's waiting. And I think that's why so many women find yoga in their late 30s and 40s and 50s and beyond. Something deep inside them is ready to come home. And the body knows the way back, even when the mind has forgotten. So before I get deeper into the why of yoga, I want to name just a few things that I see bringing women to this work. One is the emotional overload, that weight of unaddressed feelings that are draining our energy and making it harder to find that sense of balance in our day to day. How about the overthinking? I'm raising my hand here. The mental clutter that keeps you from sleeping at night and from making clear decisions during the day. The kind that has you trying to think your way through something that needs you to feel your way through it. And then autopilot, moving through your days without actually being in them, without actually experiencing the moments, missing the moments that matter, feeling disconnected not only from yourself, but also from the people around you. And then underneath it all, that exhausting message that we've absorbed somewhere along the way. Oh, you just need to work harder, do more, be more, and then maybe then we'll be happy. We start seeking that happiness outside of ourselves, in our careers, our relationships, our achievements, all the things that we accumulate, telling ourselves that this one, the next milestone, that's finally going to be the one that fills our cup. That's going to be the one that fills us up and leaves us feeling fulfilled. But here's the deeper truth. I keep coming back to this at our core. We all want the same things. We all want to be happy. We just want to be happy. We want to feel truly alive and we want to feel at peace, present in our own life. Did your shoulders just soften a little when I said that? Bet you can relate. Let's go ahead and inhale. Invite a little more length into your spine. Exhale, let your shoulders soften. Yoga, the deeper practice, the one that walks us home, is one of the ways that we get to that space of peace, feeling truly alive, finding that sense of contentment and presence in our day-to-day life. So if you're sitting with this and wondering if a deeper yoga practice might actually be what's calling you, let me share some of the reasons that women say yes to this work. Now, these are actual shifts that I have watched happen in real women's lives. A full practice gives you a roadmap to real purpose and meaning, the kind that comes from actually knowing what matters to you and living from there. Yoga builds deeper self-trust and self-awareness. So you start to hear your inner voice again. You stop needing your husband or your mom or your boss to tell you you're doing the right thing because inside you already know. It teaches you how to balance effort with ease, masculine structure and feminine flow. So you can stop forcing your way through your life and start moving and flowing with it instead. Yoga helps you rediscover who you are at your core, underneath the roles, underneath the titles, underneath the versions of you that are here to serve everybody else, just you, who you are at your core. Yoga can help to shift negative patterns into opportunities for expansion. So those same thoughts that used to send you into a tailspin, instead you get curious. They become information instead of evidence piling up against yourself. Yoga connects you back to your intuition, your inner voice, the inner knowing that you stopped trusting somewhere along the way. The wisdom that's been there the whole time, just quieter than all that outside noise. Yoga deepens connection to yourself, to the people you love, to source, whatever you consider that to be, to your own body, mind, body, spirit, no longer fragmented. And then maybe the simplest one, but the biggest one, it helps you to feel truly alive and at peace. And that's what we all want, isn't it? At the deepest level, to feel alive, to feel at peace, to stop feeling like we're running through a life that looks pretty, but doesn't quite feel like ours. So let me paint you a picture of what life can actually feel like when you've done this work, when you've come home to yourself. You wake up in the morning, and before you reach for your phone, you feel your own body in the bed for a second. You take a real breath. You take the time to meet yourself before the day pulls at you. You're still you. You still move fast when you need to. You still have your full life, the calendar and the kids and the meetings and the inbox. But there's something different underneath the movement now, a steadiness, a breath. You're not forcing or bracing your way through your day. You're actually in it. You sit down to dinner and you're really there, not half listening to your kids or your husband's story while mentally writing tomorrow's to-do list. You're actually tasting your food, savoring your bites. You're actually hearing the people you love. You're in your own body, feeling your breath move in and out. Yeah, anxiety is still going to show up. Sure, it always will. But now, when it rises, you have tools to help calm it, to help tame it. You breathe, you come back to your body, and you don't lose the next few hours to it. You keep moving with your day, but you're a little bit more anchored, a little bit more grounded than you used to be. You make a decision from your gut and you don't second guess it for 3 days. You feel a wave of joy and you actually stay in it. You don't rush past it to the next thing on your list. You let it land. You wake up on an ordinary Thursday morning and there's this quiet knowing in you that says, yes, yes, I'm in here. This is mine. I'm actually living this life. Can you imagine it for yourself, even just for a second? What glimpses do you already have? What might still be feeling like it might be missing? And a big part of how this happens is a practice yoga called Svadhyaya, self-study. It's one of the niyamas, the personal practices, and it's exactly what it sounds like. The slow, honest work of paying attention to who you actually are. And we're not talking about judging yourself. It's about awareness, getting to know yourself, because you can't come home if you don't know where you're starting from. You can't come home to someone you don't know. That's the work, and that's what this practice opens up. And it does not happen overnight. By our age, we're probably done with all the quick fixes, right? We've tried them all. We're looking for sustainable practices we can embody and integrate into our busy modern lives. And yoga offers us those tools. It's not going to happen because you tried harder or you willed it into being. It happens because you finally gave yourself permission to come home. So if something inside of you is nodding along to all of this, I want to tell you about something. Just this week, I opened the doors to my signature program, and it's Radiantly Rooted, a yogic pathway home to you. And I named it that because Radiantly Rooted is the energy this whole work cultivates, rooted in who you actually are at your core. Radiant from the inside out because you finally know who you are again. And it's everything I've been talking about today in one beautifully held space. Now, it's a self-paced journey through practices that have literally changed my life and the lives of the women that I get to walk beside. Yoga, meditation, breathwork, journaling, and the deeper teachings that help you actually embody yoga as the path home to guide you back to the core and truth of who you are. Who you are the pieces that got lost perhaps along the way. And it's structured around these stages of coming home. We arrive. We gather, we root, we trust, we rise, we awaken, we radiate, and then we tend to all of those stages that came before. Every one of those stages is designed to help you put down what's no longer yours to carry. Some of it maybe never even belonged to you in the first place, and yet we picked it up. Some of it probably did once, but you've outgrown it by now. The roles, the responsibilities, the titles, those versions of you that just don't fit anymore. So you can reconnect with who you've always been underneath all of it. You also get a full year of support inside the program, and that includes my monthly women's circle, the Radiantly Rooted Journal, a chakra guide, and a few limited time bonuses that I'm offering right now. So check out the link below. If you've been waiting for the right time to come back to yourself, I don't think it gets any more right than this. The doors are open and the bonuses are good through the end of the week, through May 25th, 2026. So the bonuses are still included, and you don't have to do this alone anymore. I would love to guide you on your pathway home to yourself. So if you want all the details, you can head on over to rachelhupp.com/radiantly rooted, all one word, or just follow the link down in the show notes below this video or wherever you're listening. Now, before you go, I just want to leave you with this. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not behind. You're not too late. And I'm going to say that again. You're not too late. So many of us think that we are. You're not too late, my friend. You're not behind. You're a woman who is in a season of profound becoming. And she needs to be rooted in who she actually is. And she needs space to be radiant. She didn't have to earn it, but that's who she actually is. That's what she actually is at her core, beneath all the weight she's been carrying. That's the work I get to walk women through inside Radiantly Rooted. So if anything in this episode stirred something in you, I want to invite you in. Again, doors are open right now. The bonuses, as of right now, they're still there. And the path home is waiting for you. Head on over to rachelhupp.com/radiantly rooted or follow the link in the show notes. I'm so glad that you spent this time with me. Before you go, take one more deep breath with me. Go ahead, right where you are. Just one. Inhale. And let it go. Until next time, breathe mindfully, be gentle with yourself, and remember, she's been there the whole time. Thanks for listening to Radiantly Rooted with Rachel. If this episode brought you a little more clarity, grounding, or inspiration, I'd love it if you shared it with a friend or left a quick review. It really helps more women find this space and feel supported on their own path. And if you are craving more soulful support, head on over to rachelhupp.com to join my email list. That's where I send free resources, gentle guidance, and invitations to go deeper. Until next time, trust yourself and root in to what matters. Because the life you want, it starts by coming back home to you.